And welcome, one and all, because it is time for Geek Battle here on the Extreme Improv Extremes YouTube channel, as well as the Geek Battle YouTube channel. So it is Wednesday, it's time to get freaky, it is time to get geeky. If you haven't done so already, make sure you smash that subscribe button, set your phasers to stun. Here comes Capelthave, and we will begin the fun because this is the Geek Battle show. So this is the show where we're going to have like a discussion about geeky things. We're going to play some improv games. We're going to work out who is this week's Geek of the Week. Now, on the show tonight, in our introductions round, as we always do, our performers are going to introduce themselves and give a random geek fact in the quest for a bonus geek point. Now, starting things off, Dave MC, say hello to the people and give us a random geek fact.
Hello to the people. I'm Dave MC, and my geek fact is there is a Doctor Who story which we know the Daleks and the Thals were at war with each other, but there is a story that the Thals become Daleks, and they call themselves Thaleks.
Okay, I'll give you a point for that. Yeah,
that sounds made up to me as not being
like a lie, doesn't it?
I can prove it. It's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't believe
well, we may need to. I'm going to fact check this at some point in the show. We're going to get that spelling and find out if there are in fact Daleks. But I've given you a point regardless because it's worth an amusement. But if it's a lie, we'll see if you keep that point. Nick, say hello to the people and give us a random geek fact.
Hello to the people. My random geek fact is there's a Elsewhere series of books of comics from Marvel, and one of them there's a comic issue where Thor is turned into a frog by Loki, and he adopts a monitor Throg.
Amazing. I love the fact that this bounced off of that's no proof, Dave. Right. I love the fact that Nick's facts bounced off of what Dave said, so I'm going to give you a point there as well, Nick.
But the difference is mine is real, whereas Dave's is debatable.
Yeah.
It's true. It is actually true.
Well, did you know? Like, here's my geek fact, and I don't normally give one. There is like a crossover story where Darth Vader says to Batman, "I am your Martha," and he says, "No, Martha." Right. So,
yeah, that's BS, but that's a good one.
You know what, David? I will adopt the role of you and give you a point for that fact.
Yes, thank you, Nick. I will take a point for that. So, Marth Vader, I am your Martha. Right. Okay, Andy, say hello to the people and give us a random geek fact.
What's up, people? A random fact, geek fact. Basically, Dolly Parton supposedly years ago went for a celebrity lookalike contest for herself and lost. It supposedly got the least amount of applause. And a transvestite, I think, or a cross-dresser won. But she actually lost and supposedly got the least amount of applause. She overmade herself, supposedly. Never saw the picture, but it's supposed to be a geek fact. That's pretty impressive.
It was supposed to be a geek fact. Andy, like, I'm just disappointed it didn't combine like someone's name with someone else's like word and stuff like that. I'll give you a bonus point, but it's a pity point there. Gerald, say hello to the people.
Hello, everybody. I'm gonna go back to a couple shows ago. We talked about Friends a little bit, so I got two geek facts about Friends. One you probably know. I don't know if the other one you'll know. But supposedly, Friends was originally called Insomnia Cafe. I'm glad they changed the name.
What?
Whoa, Capelthave from Out of the Mystic. Yeah, do you know what? I might even rename this show Insomnia Cafe. It sounds a good idea.
You know, that's a great name for an improv troupe, also.
But Gerald, I'm going to say that's only worth half a point. So,
well, I got another one. I got another one.
I figured you had mentioned.
Yeah, and Rachel Green character. So now I can't even remember the actress's name. Whatever. Her character was originally Jeffrey Aniston. Her character was originally written for a male actor.
What?
Yeah, I can see that actually.
Ross and Ronald?
Ross and Ronald?
Ross
Do you know what? That actually makes sense, because if you remember, Ross's wife runs off with another woman. I think the perfect ending to that story was that Ross is like, well, what's good for the geese is good for the gander, and he did the same. Okay, Gerald, I'm going to give you your full point.
And only because I'm not a Doctor Who maniac fanatic like you two, Dave and David, it says this is what Bard told me. So Bard could be baloney. It says there is no Doctor Who episode or show specifically about thralls and Daleks. However, a few feature both creatures. One is Daleks are trying to conquer the universe with the help of thralls, but it doesn't say anything about whatever the combined creature was. And Tholics, yeah, it doesn't say anything about that. And then there's the Daleks are trying to conquer New York City with the help of thralls who are disguised as humans. Doesn't say anything about Throlics. And then
so look at the episode Brotherhood of the Daleks. It's right there.
Okay, I'm going to take your word for it.
Even though he's clearly lying. Got it.
He's not lying.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to tell you, I'm having a British situation here. Now, I don't know what if you call them this in the US, but there's a Daddy Longlegs in here. And it's been in here since this morning. And I just figured, it's over there. It's sat there. Then, like hours and hours later, it's still sat there. I figured, I think it might be dead. Now, as soon as I start the show, it's flying around my ankles. So I may have to deal with this at some point. Hopefully everyone will survive, but I can't guarantee it.
It is the same name in America, just for the record. Is that a geek fact? It is the same name in America.
Andy, for that, you definitely get a bonus point. There we go. Right.
That's 1,000
okay.
points to the Daddy Longlegs.
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of our resident Daddy Longlegs, Capelthave, are you with us?
Yes, I am in the land of no video because of StreamYard.
Yay!
I hate this tone.
What's going on? Like, perhaps I can problem solve it for you.
It's not allowing me, and even if I click allow, I don't know, Chrome.
We'll figure it out. You've never looked so good though.
David, you're making me use a different browser than what I normally use.
It's all about the Chrome, baby. Right.
And it loads up my RAM.
Okay, bear with. We'll try to problem solve this. But Capelthave, do you have a geek fact in the quest for the bonus point?
I do. So apparently, this is a fact that usually I come up with, that Arnold and Sylvester Stallone had a rivalry in the 80s. And it got to a point where they sabotaged each other in films and stuff like that. Because usually Arnold does Rambo, if Sylvester Stallone does Rambo, Arnold does Commando. So they kind of did that thing. But one time when Arnold was introduced with the script where he has to do a cop duo comedy with a grandma, and he read the script and he thought it was completely awful, but he told to the people who approached him that Sylvester Stallone would be great for this role. And to tell Sylvester Stallone when you approach him that I couldn't only do this because I have scheduling issues. If not, I would get this because this is gold. So they go to Sylvester Stallone, they present him the script. Sylvester Stallone calls Arnold and asks him, did you really think this was a good script? And oh, yes, I would be on that. It would be like, what is that, Jingle All the Way? And all those comedies combined will be so great for you. Just do this role. And Sylvester Stallone does it. And after the film bombs, Arnold calls him up and goes, gotcha.
Do you know, Cap, I'm going to give you a bonus point, but I have heard that story before, and your version of it was a great remake. Now, we're going to move on. Now, guys, has anyone seen things this week that they want to react to? We'll definitely get onto a few games sooner rather than later, because as Gerald has pointed out, we need to defeat Nick, who is on a winning streak as our Geek of the Week the last 3 or 4 shows.
3 in a row. I want to retire on top. I want to do Michael Jordan, get 4 in a row, and be like, deuces, y'all.
Oh, wow. Okay, Dave, what do you have for us?
So I've been away for a while. I don't know if it's been brought up in Geek Battle, but I saw the trailer for Godzilla -1.
No, I don't think we have discussed this yet.
Oh yeah,
What is
so
Godzilla -1, Dave?
well, Nick. So Godzilla -1 is the latest Toho Godzilla movie. The guys who originally created the monster in the first place, they've come out with a new movie, which I think is the start of a new franchise. They're taking it sort of back to basics with Godzilla destroying Tokyo and smashing everything. From what I can see from the trailer, it's been this is sort of going to take place after the war, so it's kind of going to be like the original from 1954. Godzilla's design looks fantastic. You know, they've ditched the rubber suits now, so it's now all CG, and it kind of looks like a combination of the Heisei era and the legendary Godzilla. So we have a really good-looking monster, and the movie looks great, and I can't wait to see it.
Okay, and so is this one of the Japanese films?
Yes.
Okay, so I was going to say it's not in any way connected to what they were doing with like the girl from Stranger Things and what have you.
No, so it's no.
Okay, so look,
no
this is
connection.
why we're on StreamYard, guys. Look, let's take a look. I won't be able to put the sound on as usual, but let's screen share. Let's find this bad boy. So window, and let's get Godzilla.
The poster looks really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we can see it now. Again, just because many moons ago, I brought up like a 3-second clip from a WWE show and then got like the video banned. I just have to remember how I get rid of. Oh yeah, so I need to put on my copyright protecting shield. That still looks like it's visible. Okay, so hopefully this will disrupt the fingerprint tracking, and we can watch this at least a little bit. Let's make sure that's muted. Oh, good. It's got subtitles, which makes it even better.
All the subtitles in Japanese?
Yeah.
Okay, so if anyone's just listening to the podcast audio version of this, I suppose so there's like a cloud of smoke. There's like a reflection of Godzilla. I'm not going to lie, the graphics, they look better than the Flash. No, I'm a Godzilla fan as well. I'll show you my Godzilla, but it sounds like an innuendo. Right, now. Let's see, there it is. See, so I am a fan of Godzilla.
Oh, nice one.
I guess
it's all good.
The thing I was thinking about with Godzilla, and I still don't quite understand why his head's so small compared to the rest of his body. To me, I just have always thought of Godzilla as a Tyrannosaurus Rex, so that might be why. But his head seems just abnormally small for his body. So
I never thought about it before, but you were right.
Yeah,
I agree with that, Joe.
So I guess that's what I was mentioning. That was why I said it looked very similar to the U.S. movies of the last couple that they did.
Yeah, no. What was anyone else's thoughts on what we just saw there? Like, are we going to be checking this out? Is it going to be on Netflix? Do we know where it is? Is it cinema?
It looks like any other kaiju movie I've seen in the past, 20 years. So I'll probably go watch it.
So it's supposed to be released in Japan November 3rd to celebrate Godzilla's 70th anniversary.
Wow.
And then
There he is.
United States supposedly December 1st, and it does not say anything about the UK. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I guess
so somewhere between November 1st and the end of the year, I would say.
I guess, David, you're gonna have to come to the States and watch it.
No, I'll go to Japan, right? But I'd happily go to the States. But if given the choice, I'd go to Japan.
Yeah,
right,
but if if you go to Japan, there's not going to be the subtitles.
True. So you better bone up on your Japanese.
There would be a dub version, David.
Yeah, I know. I've probably told this story before. I did go to Japan a few years ago, and we went to the Kyoto Museum. And if you ever go to Japan and you go to Kyoto, do not go to the museum, right? First of all, what museum has like signs up saying you're not allowed to take photographs, right? Second of all, there was very little in there, although there was an Academy Award, which was pretty cool to see live. But then they had a cinema, and we were like, oh, wow, like you can actually go. They're about to screen something. And then when we went in there, it was a film from about the 1950s, and it was about a load of people that like took their own lives, including it was like Jonestown, but like from the 50s, so it predated Jonestown. And this was the plot of this
Holy.
film. And we were like, we need to get out of here. And like in Japan, you don't get up and
Too
leave
late,
early.
you're trapped.
You can't just like burst out and be like, oh, this is terrible, and leave early. It creates, it's a bit of a disrespectful thing to do, but we did. So yeah,
Oh, you thought
that was and again there was no subtitles, so it was just like we're sitting there and we
No,
didn't have
they
a
were
clue
like,
what was
you-
going on.
So they were like, you thought you'd be coming to Japan to see anime, colorful anime stuff, but no, you have to see this one.
Well,
Dark and
exactly,
dreary.
You go to the other places and they've got like you go into like where they've got shops and you can buy like Hello Kitty toilet seats and stuff like this. But then the Kyoto Museum was awful. And I'm not even kidding. I've said this many times. Probably there's probably you could do a supercut of me talking about the Japanese toilets. There's like a Hello Kitty toilet, and it comes equipped with 27 buttons. Each of them has a different function.
Yes, because that's what I need.
What
when
are
I
the
go
top
to the toilet.
10?
I think it's one button on the toilet. Which one do I press to flush it? I don't
No, there was no
yelling at me.
flusher. Definitely no flusher. These were all kinds of other things.
David, are
Okay.
you sure that wasn't a pinball machine?
Do you
Sorry?
want your toilet to scream like an anime girl?
Are you sure that wasn't a pinball machine, David?
It wasn't a pinball machine. No, like I'm going to bring up Japanese toilets and show it on the screen, guys, because of this.
Please don't.
You're gonna get seriously demonetized for putting this.
Right.
This
Or
is very-
Images.
or
This
each
show is
button
very
will sound like a
sexist
different
You just
token.
No,
please
okay,
watch
guys,
YouTube now. Just
you
watch
check
it,
this
everybody.
out. Here we
I'll watch
go.
it. I'll watch it.
Right, so this is
what?
the buttons that you'll get. I'll bring up a Hello Kitty one in a minute. So if you can see like where the mouse is, like this. Like, what is that button for? Right?
That's like I guess that's
Yeah,
why
it says, like,
they-
spray and
Bidet,
stop.
yep.
But like
Well, that's-
some of them have insane numbers of buttons.
Well, I think
what's-
they were the water, David.
Like
They're like, how do you want your ass to be clean?
Would you like low intensity?
There are
in
18
your
buttons
butt
in
or
this
a high
image.
hot intensity.
18 types of wash, baby.
I just
18
want to sit
buttons.
down, go to the toilet, and then get out. That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like even if here, right? If in toilets they have like the pipe thing that you can actually wash.
What?
So every
Like the-
toilet comes.
Wait, are you saying that
comes
Sri Lanka have got like complicated toilets as well?
with- I mean, like we wash, David. We don't wipe.
Oh wow, okay. Wow.
Sure.
There you go.
That's going to put me to sleep tonight.
Hang on, you're in France, Dave. They invented the word bidet.
Yes, I'm also in France where it smells like a bidet if I step outside.
Okay, let's see if I can
Seriously,
find the Hello
there's
Kitty
about
one.
a smog when I look over at Paris. That's not from like car exhaustion. That's the cigarette butts all lighting up the air. You know.
You're not wrong. I mean,
Okay, so oh good, now I found it. So we have to just make sure it's safe. Right, so you could like get Hello Kitty toilets. And this is it. Look at the buttons down the side.
Why do you need that many buttons?
Why do you need
It's like-
any buttons?
It's like different types of wash for your ass. I mean, like, do you want a spray? Do you want like squirted right
Stream.
there?
Yeah.
That's
Hello Kitty.
yeah, but
Intensity.
all it makes me imagine
What
is
type
like,
of soap do you want?
like David, you know, like the hose pipes that we have, like the spray, like the different nozzles you get on there. It's like, is that what those buttons are for? Like,
That's the thing
kind
that
of
we
nozzle
have.
you get?
That's exactly the thing that we have in Sri Lanka. So you basically get like the shower thing, a slightly smaller one attached
It's
next
like a
to your
small
toilet.
stream or fireman hose, you know.
Yeah.
It would have been
Intensity.
cool if Hello Kitty had its mouth open, and that's
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
would have been cooler. Imagination, that would be way better.
Or worse.
Poop like you're in a fantasy world. Poop right inside Hello
Talking about
Kitty.
geek facts, you're talking
how
about
is
Hello
it?
Kitty
Cool
toilet.
that is.
Wow, I just made the mistake of searching novelty toilet, but I don't think I can show it on the screen.
Geek facts.
No, I don't think I
Get
can.
demonetized already.
Welcome to Geek Battle, Poop Edition.
Yeah. So, how did we even get here? What?
I don't know.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh, Godzilla. Okay, yeah. So,
Archie shit.
how does God's in the
Bring that
ocean?
back, Cap.
Yeah.
This is why you
Now,
should never swim in
guys,
the
have
ocean.
you? Has anyone else seen new trailers or new shows or things that people have been following? Cap.
Yeah, you can't see my head. That's the problem. I've not seen this, but so far I've been hearing a lot of good things about the One Piece anime, and I also learned that the original manga creator was actually part of the Netflix project. He was smart, and he also signed himself in the contract where he had a lot of creative decisions, and he basically rewrote most of their scripts that Netflix originally had written, and he was like, "Nope, change this shit." And here's the kicker: this is the same studio. I think the production is the same people who did Bebop, Cowboy Bebop, and that was terrible, and everyone hated it. So this is probably their second chance. But I think mainly it's because the original creator was attached to it.
Yeah, I think I saw what Cowboy was that a live action remake?
Yeah, and it was
Yeah, that was
terrible,
pretty bad.
and
It
it
was
was
bad.
mostly hated.
I didn't understand the thing that happened in it.
But that one, they didn't have the original creator or anyone attached to it, and basically the same shenanigans, the cast shitting on the fans when the fans said they didn't look like the characters and stuff like that. So they had a lot of drama, bad publicity at the start, and when the show came out, it was pretty bad. Netflix's original script, duh. So then this one, I think the creator was like, because One Piece still makes anime, they're still going. So I don't think they would be happy about their ruining their cred. So I think the artist was pretty smart on this one.
Yeah. Now I just want to quickly interject here, just to come to comments, because I always forget to come to the comments on this show because we get so involved with things. But audience, always give us lots of comments, always appreciated. Cruise Princess says, in the Japanese TV show, sorry, not the Japanese TV show, in the TV show Raising Hope, there's an episode where they are given a Japanese toilet. They try to find out what all of the buttons do. So this is definitely a thing. And it says, it's the bathrooms with the foot placements and the hole that gets to me. And I've told this story before. When I arrived in Japan, I've been on a long flight, however many hours, 10 hours or something. And then I went into like the restroom at the airport, opened the cubicle door, and there's just a hole on the floor. I wanted to get back on that plane. I didn't realize that they have like a Western style toilet as well. But that was scary.
We have that one right outside, and we have the Western one attached to the house.
There you go. Dawna says, welcome back, Dave MC. Great to see you.
Hello.
There we go. Now, okay, so sorry, Cap, I did interject. Has anyone else seen has anyone seen One Piece?
Oh yeah, I thought I've only seen the first two episodes, but I ended up also reading the manga at the same time, and it's fairly close to it. Obviously, you have only so much time to do it live action, and I think is it almost an hour an episode, I think, somewhere around there. But it was very good, and a good friend of mine, he's like a One Piece fanatic, and he's really liked it so far. And from what I understand, it's been doing very well on Netflix, so there's hope. It's always never a done deal with Netflix because they cancel at the drop of a dime, but it's hope that they'll at least continue on for a few more. But yeah,
I don't think they'll do this for this one. They're like, this is their first anime adaptation that actually did well.
Yeah,
All
and
I
then
want is to bring back Wednesday.
yeah, to Cap's note, the manga and the anime are continuing on. I think the written one, the manga is up to like 1100, and then the anime is somewhere there's about as well.
Wow. It's a lot.
I mean, this is how you do an adaptation. I mean, like right now, so far, HBO, and now because of this, Netflix have good credit about doing adaptations. Amazon still ruined it with The Lord of the Rings, but they did really, really good with Reacher. I think the more obscure the project is better. I think mainly because
just because then people don't know.
Too much. Sorry.
Then people don't know if it's good or not. If it's
yeah, I mean, like if it's good, then it'll become popular. If it's bad, then it'll just never get noticed.
I mean, that's the interesting thing. Like, if you got a show like Rings of Power, and you showed it to someone who had never heard of Lord of the Rings, would they dig it? Would they think, "Oh, this is bad"?
I think they would dig it, but if you know anything about Lord of the Rings, you'd be like, "This is garbage."
It's like when you hear about something, you go and like read about it. You go read the other like the source material. You go watch any other related stuff, and you think that's amazing. But then you go look back on how you found out. But yeah, that was really crap.
Yeah.
So I'll probably get crucified for this one, but I don't know Death Note. Okay, I'll make that as my first statement. I watched the movie, which I understand from fans is roundly despised. I thought it was decent, but again, I don't have the familiarity with the anime, manga, and stuff. So I thought it was decent, but I'm sure without having any clue of what it was about or the general idea of it.
I think it's mainly they didn't follow the detective aspect of the thing. I mean, like the whole anime is famous for being a good detective story, and I think the movie did not. What did you say?
I was going to say, you were absolutely right. They didn't follow the whole cat and mouse aspect of it with Elle and Lights sort of back and forth with each other. You know, one getting a win and the other one trying to outwit the other one at the same time. I watched it and I didn't like it because I watched the anime more than I read the manga. So I liked that version of Light who was outwitting everybody in, as trying to have two minds that are trying to outwit each other. They're both superior intelligence, and I would agree.
Yeah, I'm not a big anime or manga guy, and I've got to be honest. I first heard about Death Note when Gerald mentioned it 1 minute ago. So, like, as an experiment, I think I'm going to seek out the film and watch it, and then I'll be able to report back if I thought it was any good. And then, in a few years' time, I'll be like, I still haven't watched or read the anime.
Well, I would say to anyone, watch the first 2 episodes of Death Note and then watch the movie to see the difference. Because in the first 2 episodes, you get an idea of Light and Elle's characters, and then watch the movie 1 and then see where the contrast and why people are arguing about it.
I think the main reason is that Death Note is one of the highly regarded animes. It's one of the best animes that you can think of. Same with The Witcher. It was a really popular fantasy story thing.
Ding!
Ding!
Hang on, I haven't got my ding ready for that.
If you get something that is like really highly regarded, like has all this great, I mean, you're not adapting any anime, you're adapting this beloved anime. So the expectations are obviously going to be high, and they were going to want what they want. The Witcher!
Yes!
I was going to ask if you had the Henry Cavill.
No! What have I missed? This is amazing!
Yeah, this is one of the benefits of StreamYard.
There needs to be a sound effect with that, though.
Well, I'm working on it.
Just be like a ta-da every time he just mentions something.
But that's why I'm saying, like, Jack Reacher, I would say, is a very famous book, but it kind of fell out of style for a while because Tom Cruise did it, and everyone's like, Jack Reacher's like 6'4" and Tom Cruise 5'7". What the fuck are you doing, Hollywood? And that character fell out of obscurity. But then
okay, here's the thing on that. Like, I mentioned it a week ago, but I saw a musical of Lord of the Rings, and when you watched it, Frodo was taller than Aragorn. You've seen it?
I've seen the musical. We've had this conversation before. I've seen the musical.
Wait, what, in the UK?
Yeah.
What, in Newbury?
No, it was in London.
No, but this is a different production.
It's not the same then.
What? It's the same. It's based on the same show, but this is a very specific version of the production. So, like I said this last week, but like the first 20 minutes takes place outdoors. Literally, you're outside. Then they do the bulk of the show in a theatre, and when you watch it, the whole cast are playing instruments themselves. It's a very unique way that the show was done. And then, like, the last 15 minutes, like, the last scene is also outdoors at the end. I've got a review which I've written of it, but I haven't put it up yet. But it was a good show. But one of the notes I had is that Frodo shouldn't be taller than Aragorn.
I mean, give him the sword.
Oh, do you know what? Like, I don't know if I'll be able to find this guy actually. Maybe this guy's just some random actor. But the guy.
How did he show up to the audition?
The guy who plays Frodo genuinely looks like he should have been Andrew Garfield's stunt double in Tick Tick Boom. I don't know if I'll be able to find this guy, but I'll give it a go. But anyway, what are you guys saying?
I mean, they
think
canceled
really
all the
changed
awards
the movie.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go
Cam.
ahead.
I was going to say,
I was saying, like, they
All right, Dave, go.
I've got photos of the
I
guy
don't know
here.
if he's
Sorry,
frozen or if that's
I
him just.
think that would have changed the movie entirely if Elijah Wood was the tallest of them all. It's like, we need to guide Frodo to Mount
Okay, look,
Doom,
I've got a photo here.
let's
So
have
let
a
me
look.
show you. This was a good show. Oh, hang on, it doesn't come up big enough. Right, let's see if I can click on that one. He looked genuinely the whole like when we got to the interval. It's like this guy should be playing Andrew Garfield's stunt double.
this guy should be playing Aragorn. Just grow out the hair. He's basically Aragorn.
Exactly. I don't know if I can like find like a photo of it. I feel like I'm ripping on what was probably a small show just by doing this. But like, look, when you see the show, kudos to them. They made it look really good.
Oh, that's really cool.
It honestly, it was a good show. But yeah, like the
Can
Hobbit.
you see the actor who played Aragorn, just for comparison?
I don't know if I'll have to try to look it up. So that might be him actually. I can't remember who was who. That might be Aragorn, but you obviously can't get a sense of the height. And then Pippin was played by a girl.
Right.
So, but she was taller than him as well. This poor guy. Is like,
All the hobbits are giants.
Tall and hobbits are supposed to be short. They just got the blurb wrong. It's just like hobbits have to be 10 feet tall.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a really good show. I would honestly recommend it.
I feel like the whole production, like, we need to do something really different. I will make the hobbits taller.
But I remember the West End show. Go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say, this is what they've done now. It's like, well, they've changed the dwarves in Snow White to be tall. Let's do that to the hobbits as well.
Well, but like, here was the thing. When they did the West End version of it, because this was like right when I was like a year or two out of drama school, the auditions for it came up, and they said that you couldn't be taller than 5'5" if you're auditioning for a Hobbit.
Now you have to be taller than Aragorn.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well,
But-
I reiterate the point is that would change the film if they had Gandalf saying we need to guide Frodo to Mount Doom. He's just like a built guy when he talks.
Why? You guys are such wimps. I can do that by myself.
No, I'm pretty sure he'll be okay.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, if I can change the direction of this, unless there's things that people want to react to.
There's one thing.
Yeah, go on, Andy. Tell us things.
Just because you guys were talking about the toilet, so I want to bring back something with the toilet. But I have an old picture, which is hysterical, that they sent me. I was trying to forward it to you. I can't figure out how to do it, but I don't know if you could see this.
What the hell is this?
It's a body
That's a woman in a toilet. But
in the toilet.
yeah, so they're saying this is when women like to exaggerate when they get upset with men that they left the toilet.
Oh, the toilet seat up. Yeah,
Brilliant.
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, this is
Well,
what
he
happens if
married
you
a
date a
hobbit,
Hobbit.
that's why. A tall one.
A tall hobbit. I hate to see the dwarfs.
So, okay, so has anyone seen anything else?
Can I talk about Ahsoka?
Yeah, go for it.
Latest episode. After
Dave, you're a tiny bit quiet. You were louder earlier.
Am I better now?
No.
Can you hear me now? How about now? How about now? How about now?
Yeah.
That was louder at the end.
You can hear me now?
Oh, yeah, that's really good. Just do that.
All right, I'll just stay very close to the microphone, so it's very intimate.
Yeah, go for it.
So the latest episode of Ahsoka, I won't give too many spoilers away, but it's very enjoyable after we've had. Because I haven't been on the show, so I don't know what you've spoken about already. But after a very slow build with like the first 2 episodes, I watched this one and I actually enjoyed it. It actually felt like a Star Wars story. You know, it felt really good. The saber fights didn't actually look like 2 kids in the back garden waving a stick. No, I found this episode. Pardon?
Do they work?
Well, nobody dies. I'll say that much. But I mean, it's Disney Star Wars. Nobody dies anyway. They stab, they walk it off like 2 minutes later. It's absolutely fine, which means that Liam Neeson was an absolute weakling when it came to lightsabers. That's Liam Neeson's one weakness: is lightsabers. So in the next Taken movie,
there's one job.
Hint Hollywood, if you want the next Taken movie, have him against lightsabers. It's his only weakness.
He has a series of skills, none of which is dealing with lightsabers.
But yeah, I mean, it's good, and I am a little excited for the next one. But my problem was I found that I've forgotten the actor's name, Ray, who plays Balin. I found him and his apprentice more enjoyable than Ahsoka and Sabine.
Well, that's kind of, you know.
This was the Dave MC podcast. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, I mean,
Dave, obviously, Dave, you've not been here like a couple of weeks. We've all been saying like, "Oh yeah, we'll catch Ahsoka at some point," but like literally none of us have been following it.
Oh, shall I go deeper into this then?
I've been putting 40
Like, go
hours.
for it. Like, it'll drag me into it at some point. Like, I kind of. What was the last Star Wars thing they did?
That
Disney
was
Plus.
Andor?
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So no, what was the one before Mandalorian?
Andor.
Yeah, like and everyone says that was like the good one. I kind of just checked out on that so early.
It was.
It's
I
boring,
haven't
but it's
watched it
good.
either. It was pretty dry for me, but I've heard good things too.
But in regards to like Ahsoka, if I compare the two, like Andor and Ahsoka together, like Andor really grounds like Star Wars because there's no mystical element to it. So there's no Force, there's no Jedi and Sith, there's none of that. But something like Ahsoka actually brings the mystical element into it. So it's kind of a good balance in that thing. So like, I think that's where Mando went wrong a little bit because they had a bit the mystical and the grounded level of Mandalorians with it. But Ahsoka seems to balance it really good. I mean, yeah, as I said, it's a very slow build at the beginning, and I actually think it was very, very, very dull. Like the characters were not themselves. And in this episode that we've just had, we've actually had some character development. We've seen, you know, Ahsoka actually grows as a character. But yeah, I think with Sabine also being trained as a quote unquote Jedi, I think that ruins the mystical legend of the Mandalorian Jedi Tar Vizsla, who was the first and only Mandalorian who was a Jedi. So I respect that more than having, you know, Sabine just say, right, I'm going to be able to use the Force now. I think if she fights with the lightsaber, fine, do that. She can do that. That's fine. But have no Force ability because not everybody.
Yeah, they
can
changed
do it.
that, right? They you can now have Force abilities even without the midichlorians, I think.
Yeah, they've sort of been like. There's a sort of heated thing with like the Star Wars
Did you
fans.
say midichlorians? What's that?
Yes.
Is that
Midichlorians are the DNA that resides within us. Yeah, so I think this sort of divides people a little bit. It's like some people say it's you know, anyone can use the Force, but I'm like, well, not everybody should be able to use the Force. You know, I mean, you've got people that can use it better than others. Like, yeah, we're all connected to it, but there are people who have a stronger connection to it, like the Jedi and the Sith and other Force-wielding entities. They have a stronger connection than something like a Mandalorian, for example.
Well, yeah, and that completely makes sense. It's on the same like idea that it's like musical ability, like singing. Like it's a spectrum. Like everyone can sing, but like some people are terrible, like me, and other people just naturally have it, and it pisses me off.
Some people have perfect pitch.
Exactly.
But I would again, you can still train for perfect pitches if you're a toddler.
But that's just it. It's like I think even like I hate to say it, someone like Ray who has a strong connection to the Force, being able to use what she had right from the get go for me is a no. It's like, no, you've got to train, you've got to harness, you've got to be able to use this ability. Even if you don't have a connection, you can still fight with a blade, but you can't fight at the level of someone like Darth Vader at his peak.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the power levels is the one thing that always gets me. Like, they always put, like, Anakin is the strongest Force wielder. So, like, okay, keep it that way. That's good. And also, you cannot put him in different types of things as well, because he's also dead. And they kind of, how do you say, lowered his power when he turned into Darth Vader. So
I would say no, because in that regard, I'd say Anakin is not the strongest Force user. when he's on Mortis, he is the strongest. When he's away from there, he isn't, because he never reached his full potential at the end of the Clone Wars.
Oh yes,
so because he lost his hand to Count Dooku, and he lost his potential when he became Darth Vader. And even as Darth Vader, he would never reach his full potential.
But
so I would say in that term, Luke is stronger than Darth Vader.
No, Anakin's the best. I will fight you for this one.
I think light side and dark side, you definitely have to be trained, but the wild Force might put the right kind of Force user in the conditions necessary to develop their talents outside of a normal learning environment. But that would be very hard. Like, you need someone who's got just the right teaching moments at the right age to develop certain skills. Like, Rey could have been put in her perfect environment to learn how to use the Force, which explains why she has such a high power set for never being trained in it.
And it's not just the Force. Like, okay, I understand, like, getting Force powers naturally, but, like, fighting, you need to train. I mean, any sort of fighter would tell you, yeah, you need to train. I mean, exactly. Luke basically trained and he trained a little with Obi-Wan, but he trained a lot with Yoda. So, again, Yoda is one of the most reviewed duelists, so I get that. But Rey never, I think she did one time.
Train to fight? Like, does a tiger train to fight, or a grizzly bear?
Well, no,
yes.
It's instinct. It's survival.
Yeah, exactly. It's instinct.
They also train.
Use the Force.
But
cubs,
nature versus nurture, that's true.
Yeah.
It could be something that's ingrained in the Force or whatnot to a degree.
I mean, cowboys versus aliens or something. Like,
no, I'm saying, like, tigers and grizzly bears, they do train as well since they were kids. Males in their very dormant state, they would play fight each other. That's also their training. They're honing their skills while they play fight. That's the thing. They don't go, I'm gonna beat the biggest alpha male lion. No, you also need to grow, train, do better hunting skills, and afterwards you put up a lot of size and you'll be able to actually take on the males. Cats train that. Dogs do. Every animal does.
Humans play fight.
Yeah.
I used to do a lot of, like, Mortal Kombat versus DC Studios on, like, Xbox 360. So exactly.
I mean, like, for us, in a sense, the play fight would be technically sparring. If we'd done that as kids, we would actually be better at actually fighting when real violence came.
You go back to the Spartans and whatnot with stuff like that.
We could also just use the legends that we used to grow up with, like the Wild West or King Arthur. You know, you had sticks and you used them as a sword or something. Maybe even Batman. You're like, I'm Batman. I'm gonna fight criminals, and then like, you're the criminal because you're the younger brother. And then you get into like a little bit of a fist fight with your brother. But it's like, okay, we're good after that. That's still play fighting. Like, that's training, even though it's probably a fiasco.
So what you're saying, Tim, is that I needed to punch my younger brothers more to be Batman.
Yes.
See, this is the problem, though. This is where
I mean, you're not turned him into Batman.
I always played as Alfred, so that's where I've gone wrong in life.
But do you actually, for lions and also bears, I think the bachelors, mainly for lions, when male lions, they will play fight a little bit with their mothers and stuff, but they will get kicked out when they become teenagers. And afterward, they would hang around with other males.
Mhm.
And again, they would try to learn hunting on their own. They would, most often time they would fail and they would starve and die. Otherwise, if they were successful, they'll hunt, they'll eat, they'll get bigger, they'll have a lot of experience of taking out bigger animals, and then they would approach another male and they would kill the male and they would take over the pride. Again, it doesn't happen that simply.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
someday
couple
that
of-
line will be Batman.
Couple of things to
That's what we call the great circle of life.
a couple of things here, a couple of comments. So, on Kick, which I still need to make sure, like, what actually you do on Kick, but SG_Jimmy says, "Yo, hope you have a good stream. Keep up the grind. Much love. Peace, man." And then Cruise Princess says, "I have a question, if I can. Has anyone been playing Starfield, the new space game? Now, I think this is on Xbox Game Pass, if anyone has that.
No,
I haven't not had time, unfortunately, recently, but it's been completely on my mind too at some point.
Yeah. I watched the trailer because it came up on my Steam for my PC, and I watched the trailer and I know Bethesda has bug issues, especially with Skyrim and Fallout. But this is something that I've wanted, an open world space game with over 1,000 planets to visit, designing ships, and I look forward to doing that at some point.
is anyone else on the panel playing Baldur's Gate 3 on console or PC?
They're too small, Nick. I mean, the character, when you make them, they're big, but then the gameplay, they're small. I can't
Yeah,
play
I don't like that either, Cap.
I don't. I hate it. That thing ruins every game. I had 4 experiences where I didn't even know how the gameplay is with the expandables. Also, another game that I bought that I was like, I guess this is gonna be great. I start the game, tiny people. No.
How do you cope with first-person shooters? You don't see them at all.
Yeah, that's okay.
They're just a pair of hands. They don't have legs.
First-person shooter is okay for me. But tiny people, that's where I draw the line. Especially if it's fantasy. Fantasy, I want 3D characters where I can, see the whole thing.
Yeah. No, I agree. I like it when you see the character. Although lemmings back in the day, they were really small. Or worms, like the original worms, they were tiny. Okay, so guys, something. Look, time is getting away, and there's still a bunch of things to cover. And I think this is true for at least a couple of us here. I have finally seen The Flash.
Was it everything that you wanted and more?
I have thoughts, guys. Now, obviously, just before we go into it, who here has actually seen The Flash now? So Andy has, Gerald has, Tim has, no one else? Okay.
I've seen
so
memes.
we've heard a lot about it. And the thing I'm going to say straight off is it was actually really good. I thought it was a good film. Like, after everything that I've heard about it being so terrible, I watched it expecting to hate it. And I was like, this isn't as bad. Like, the CGI is bad. The baby scene at the beginning, I was like, this has got a lot to recover from. But the rest of the film, I was like, what's the complaint? Batman's doing good. Zod is there. It was all quite good.
I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was horrible, but I thought it was okay.
Is it on like a streaming service?
Not. It might be on HBO Max in the States.
I think so. I think that's what it's on.
think so.
I watched it tonight.
It was out of the movies pretty quickly, so it's got to be on one of those stream things. It wasn't successful because most people thought like me and not like David that time around. Right.
Well, what I can say is because of people like you, Andy, that no one gave it a chance, and I listened to you because I trusted you.
I mean, David, your first comments was like, "I'm finally watching The Flash." Some of the worst CGI I've ever seen. And I watched Little Mermaid yesterday.
That's true. I watched. It's been a good week for bad CGI.
I did love Little Mermaid.
I didn't like Little Mermaid. It was okay. It was like the thing I was just say about that straight away is Disney. They like Jungle Book. I really liked because they was like, they made it kind of gritty and stuff like that. And then after that, like Lion King with the emotionless faces.
Beauty
of,
and
like,
the Beast.
I didn't mind that either. But so Beauty and the Beast, suddenly like the candles and that, they had no personality. And it's like, like everything under the ocean looked awful. It looked so bland. It looked drab. It looked miserable. You know, I
There's
just
the
didn't think it
ocean.
looked Disney anymore. It didn't look Disney.
There's a comparison I made with the character Chip from the cartoon Beauty and the Beast and also live action. It's scary. It's scary in a sense when you look at it. And the thing is, like, the first time I saw the castle, the animated Beauty and the Beast, I was like, you know, my first love from Beauty and the Beast was the castle. I was like, oh my god, this castle is so rad. It's so gothic. I loved it so much. I even been a little bit sad when they turned the castle white. I preferred the dark one. But in this movie, the castle was so bland and boring and nothing was in it.
Like, bear with me here, because let me just again bring this up. So here we can see Flounder, what Flounder's supposed to look like, and that is what they made it. Now, a few months ago, there were the memes saying it was that, and we were like, but genuinely, I think that is better than the one they actually used.
Well, that going back to what you had mentioned about Lion King, that was the because I like the animated 1994-ish Lion King is like my favorite all-time movie, and the live action didn't do it for me. And the biggest thing is because they didn't show the emotion of the animals and stuff.
Yes,
they did the like this is a super realistic looking lion and stuff, but which was cool. But at the same time, they didn't have the expressions and stuff, which basically sort of killed the.
What are you trying to do,
Yeah, completely agreed.
I mean, what were they thinking? What was the idea behind it? Well,
the whole purpose, Cat, was like, oh, we want to go for a hyper live action, realistic looking animal. So, yeah, but animals can't express the same way you can do with a cartoon. You know, I mean, yes, cartoons are known, you know, they have rubbery faces and rubbery expressions, so they can exaggerate it. But with the live action thing, you can't do it. Not every animal has the facial expression of Jim Carrey.
They don't speak English. You can't be realistic about this.
Yes, they don't speak, and if they don't speak, then they can also not have facial expressions.
I mean, just watch a documentary. It has a better story.
Like, I think the movie would have been better if you had like Morgan Freeman or David Attenborough narrating the movie. Just narrate what's going on.
Or Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, he did one documentary with Disney. I think I forgot the name of it. It's also a cat documentary where it follows the cheetahs and the lions. The lion stuff, so good. You have a moment where a crocodile and the lion actually go head to head. That was like even Samuel L. Jackson narrating that. That was badass. It was a documentary, but it was badass.
Gentlemen, I have a great idea. We need to do a documentary about whatever, really. That's going to be Samuel L. Jackson as Jules Wingfield from Pulp Fiction narrating it.
Just have him narrate Disney movies from now on.
Dark Disney.
But Ariel, I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Well, you know the movies, they used to open with like the storybook intro and you have someone narrating it. Just have Samuel L. Jackson narrate the opening.
What was the deal with that? What was the deal like in the 1930s and 40s where Disney were like, well, no one will understand it's a story if we don't show a book? Why did every like Disney film just start with, oh, and the worst one, what was it? Like Ichabod and Mr. Toad or whatever it was. That is like actually the worst film I've ever seen Disney make. It is bad.
I still have a spot in my heart for the Ichabod part, but the
Mr.
Toad, I never watch it.
When did you last see it, Gerald?
I actually saw it maybe within the last year, within the last 12 months.
What? Oh, well, okay.
Rewatch the Great Mouse Detective, which is a full-on ripoff of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, but
why does that not have a sequel? Why does that movie not have a sequel?
Because
I don't know. Right, okay,
so we don't want to do it.
Okay, we've spoken about bad CGI, but someone back in the day at Disney, they kind of needed a slap for coming up with this character.
So one of the reasons why this holds a special place in my heart is my family actually knew somebody who was a close family friend who looked very much like Ichabod.
Wow.
So
but if you look at the villain in this, that is very like a very basic example of Gaston. Ichabod's rival.
Actually, Cap, I'd say it's the other way around. The buff guy, Strongbone, or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
he's the hero, and Ichabod is the villain. Like, if you look at it, like Ichabod wants to be with Katrina so he can get her money.
Yeah.
True.
Whereas Strong Bone, he never says anything like that.
That's true. And
If
also,
you
Ichabod
reverse
is
it
a
that
very
way, it
nice
changes the
person,
story a
too.
little bit.
I never looked at it that way.
You see what I mean? I have ruined a movie for a generation.
Okay, guys,
You're welcome.
I just want to come back, if I can, to The Flash, because I have more thoughts on this. But first of all, just coming back to the CGI. So, spoiler warning if you didn't know this happened, but of course you do. So, like, Nicolas Cage's Superman, right? So, it's kind of terrible CGI.
Christ, what is that?
It kind of looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
But here's the thing. Imagine if instead of that, it had been this. There you go.
Oh,
Because that is basically the level it is
That would
at.
have been epic, actually.
That whoever made this meme is amazing. It's like, oh, Nicolas Cage is turning up, and that is the Rock in Scorpion King level stuff. But there is one more for your consideration. If they hadn't done the CGI, we'd have got that. Would have that been better or worse?
That would have been better.
That looks
I feel like his head's huge.
But apparently he was on set. So
can I ask? Is that 100% true that Nicolas Cage was in it? Because I haven't seen it. Is that true?
Yeah, spoiler warning. Okay, so
screw the spoilers. I want to know if that's true.
Well,
that's true.
Let me give the proper answer. So the multiverse was a thing. Literally, Flash were going to do it, and then Marvel were like, "We're doing the multiverse too." And then like they managed to get Spider-Man out 3 years before Flash, and they did a really good job. Flash did a terrible job. Obviously, Michael Keaton's in it in a big way. Other than that, you just get like some spheres at the end, which are different universes, and then they can start to see across to each other. But they may as well just have showed clips from old stuff because
it would have been far better. It was bad.
Oh, it was just like, well, it was just unnecessary because like these characters didn't interact. I'm going to say my pitch again, right? And I know it wasn't popular when I said it a couple of weeks ago, but like you had Superman and Supergirl in it. You had Adams West Batman in it, but literally he was just seen for a split second. I think towards the end, because they've got Michael Keaton's Batman in it, they should have been like, we need this world's Superman. And they could have still had Supergirl in it in the exact same way, but that world's Superman should have been Nicolas Cage. And if they'd had Nicolas Cage in it for 15 minutes or whatever, but General Zod is there and the evil Flash or whoever is there, and they're like, the bad guys are too strong for us. The multiverse, other heroes should have come in, and they could have had like they should have had like the Flash on the TV show come in, and they should have got somewhere and Brandon Routh Superman come in, and then at the last moment, Christopher Reeve Superman flies down, does like heat vision and stuff like that, and everyone would have been like, "Yay!" And then you'd have had Nicolas Cage in it for 15 minutes, and you'd have had Brandon Routh in it for 5 minutes, and then the last one, the last piece of the puzzle is Superman, Christopher Reeve, and Henry Cavill is in this film. I need to bring up Henry Cavill. Hang on.
You gotta do the thing. You gotta do the thing.
Hang on. Yeah, hang on. Where's the thing? Ta-da! Right, Henry Cavill is in it, and I'm going to bring up how you see him in it because it is genuinely like PlayStation 3 level CGI. Let's see if we can bring up a big enough version.
Oh my
What
god!
the hell is that?
What on earth is that?
He has very substantial cleavage. Like, look at that.
Yeah,
I got the same thing.
Tekken 4 vibes from this. What the hell is going on?
This is the moment where it's because it's like a different, like time is reversing, and this was obviously when Superman was just come back from the dead in Justice League, and he was about to punch, and like this is just after like Flash saw that he could see him moving in slow motion or whatever, however they did it.
So he's getting his boob job undone? My God.
But it's just like
So instead of
bad
CGI
Flash. Let's see if we can bring up the Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck. So if they show it, there is a bad Ben Affleck CGI in it, even though
Is that the blue one?
I don't. I'll remove it just in case because you never know what's going to pop up on the screen. But in the same sequence, you see Ben Affleck made completely of CGI, even though Ben Affleck was on set, like for a big lump of the film.
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, it was horrendous. The CGI was horrendous, but genuinely, after the baby scene, which I didn't like,
It was horrible.
I
Yeah.
just I don't know why they. If that was an episode of Family Guy, I'd have accepted it. But like, literally, he's meant to be real babies in peril, and he puts one in a microwave. Who thought that was a good idea? It was like bad taste.
Do you remember
And this is the guy who
CGI?
has a bad reputation.
The CGI baby that was from, I can't remember the name of the show, but it like
Ally
danced
McBeal?
around and Ally McBeal. That is the quality of the baby CGI.
By the way,
in
I
this
should get a
movie.
point
Is
for
it Twilight
that.
Baby? Did you guys see the Twilight Baby?
I don't know.
Twilight
I haven't
Baby?
seen that one.
What?
It was, yeah.
If you
The
Google
baby thing
from
is
Twilight,
horrible.
David, they had a CGI baby for Twilight, and it is just as awful.
Oh no.
So I have
my
a
God.
question.
Oh my god! I've just seen it. Is
Oh
this
my
really?
God.
What?
That's actually better than the babies were in the.
No way!
Not
This
that one.
can't-
Not that one.
No, okay, this one is their original thing, but then
That
Oh,
looks
it's
like-
an animatronic.
Wow.
That looks like Chucky the doll. It looks like Chucky the doll missed his Botox operation. What the
dude, you're
Oh my
getting
God,
missing the
that is
whole point.
perfect.
No, get rid of it.
Do you remember that though? That's the film Junior.
Oh, that's
But
terrifying.
Let me just rant off on Twilight and stuff. So it's not only the baby is bad, they have this weird thing in Twilight where werewolves can imprint on anyone to become their future mate. And the guy Jacob technically wants to go to kill the baby because it's already, killed his girlfriend in the pregnancy, and he's about to go kill the baby, and he sees the baby, and he imprints on her to be his future wolf bride, I guess, on a baby. And this is the thing. This is not a thing that the movie people made up. This is the thing that the writer made up, and the movie producer, we're gonna stick to the source material.
So wait. So they can't make a horror movie version of Jurassic Park where dinosaurs literally eat a baby, but they subject us to the horror of CGI babies on a daily basis.
Well, hang on, guys. To be honest, they have been doing it a long time, as you're about to see. Who remembers this?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm.
Yes.
Ally McBeal.
Yes.
Edith Tucker.
What is
Dang.
that?
I think it's the dancing blockbuster video baby. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No,
Like, it
that's
was an
that's-
Ally
that's
McBeal.
baby from Ally McBeal.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like it would go ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga chaka.
That was like the biggest thing of the early internet.
I will never listen
Yeah.
hear that song the same way again without thinking about a dancing baby.
Yeah.
I am a little curious just to get a little off of this, but 51 weeks from now, Beetlejuice 2 is coming out. I'm psyched to see it. And you got
Beetlejuice 2 is not going to come out. It's only been in the works for 35 years.
They filmed it. Like literally, they said this week
They
they
filmed
filmed.
it?
They have
fucking
filmed
filmed
99.
it.
They said they were a day and a half away from filming. They had a day and a half left of filming left, and that's when the actors went on strike.
Oh.
They've only been saying they're going to do a Beetlejuice 2 since the mid-90s.
Well, they're saying 51 weeks from today, September 6th. I'm looking forward to it. They'll probably push it back sooner or later, but you got Winona Ryder coming back, Catherine O'Hara, and obviously Michael Keaton. Those are the three main characters.
Right.
Again, Gina
Yeah,
Davis is awesome, but
I heard that Michael Keaton has no makeup in this film. That was the one thing that was a shame about him being Batman. Just when they did like the close-ups, and he'd got like creases where there shouldn't be creases.
Well, Andy, we'll go see it together in Brooklyn.
I'm down for that, 100%.
I'll drive up to Brooklyn. We'll go to the movies, and then you'll buy me dinner.
Sounds like a plan.
And then the
You heard it
movie
here
is
first,
bad.
folks.
26,
The official date
2024.
of Nick and Andy. Live on October.
Okay, guys, like we're almost out of time. We could either play a game because we need to make sure Nick isn't going to be. Okay, look, we are going to play a game because otherwise Nick's going to retire on us here. We're not going to do a guessing game though. We are, but not the usual one. We're not going to do the one where you have 1 minute to guess. Oh, hang on. No. Mhm. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beat Nick on.
Right. So we're gonna do impressions. So everyone will get a minute to do impressions, and we know the drill. If someone does an impression, let them know if they've got it right or not. And if you want to skip, then say skip.
How can you privately send in StreamYard?
Oh shit! Are we? Is it not possible to do this on this show?
Oh, that's
Hold on.
Chat with everyone in studio.
Bear with.
Yeah, at Cap. Oh shit! I don't know. Oh my god! StreamYard.
See, I told you all.
Hold on. Are we all friends on Facebook? Are you?
No, but no, this is too much of a hassle. Right. There's got to be a way to private message. Hang on, let's just see. You cannot private message people. Oh, this sucks balls. I don't know how to fix it at this stage. Oh no, Nick's gonna win. Right. Okay, I know. I've got a solution. We're gonna do a quiz. Chat GPT to the rescue. Right. Okay, so Chat GPT. We're gonna and look, Nick might win. Nick might win. So Chat GPT. I'm gonna have to ask it. I'm gonna use Chat GPT 4. So it's really smart.
Specifically,
ask
GPT-4,
and the
if
question
you
is
can design a game where Nick can win. This version of Geek Battle.
Is AI that clever? Give me questions Nick won't know.
It'll be like world history and sports.
How many buttons are on a Japanese toilet?
21. We had this conversation earlier.
Oh my god, I can't believe this thing. It's giving me the questions. I didn't tell it to give me the answers. I assumed it would. Right. It hasn't given me the answers. I'm gonna ask which ones I can. Okay, so get ready. You gotta say buzz if you're gonna buzz in.
Buzz.
What is the name of the fictional city where Batman operates?
Buzz.
Andy.
Gotham City.
Correct answer. What was the name of the first video game ever created?
Buzz.
Who buzzed? Who buzzed? It wasn't Nick. It was a different voice.
Gerald.
Okay, so
It was
Wade
Gerald.
as well. Gerald.
Pong.
Incorrect answer.
Oh.
Nick.
Shit. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I thought it was fun.
Okay, anyone else want to buzz on that? Cat?
Why not?
Tetris?
But
Oh,
Tetris, no.
I just remembered.
Nick.
Radar scope.
No, good one, but no. It was called Tennis for Two. Tennis for Two, predated Pong.
Tennis.
That's just Pong. It's a fancy word for Pong.
No, it's a different thing. That's like me saying that Sonic is Mario because they're the same genre.
Hey,
no, it's not. I said tennis.
It's not the same.
It's called Tennis for Two. Right. Okay. Anyway.
Tennis 22. Got it.
Right. Okay. Give me the questions again, but also give me the answers, douchebag. Right. Okay.
I don't know what you mean by give me questions for answers.
It says here, what is the name of the first electronic computer built in 1946? But I don't know.
Hey,
I knew it. I said it with IT.
Oh my god! Do you know what this thing has then done? He's literally just given me the answers without giving me the question as well. Now I have to scroll back up and down. Okay, can anyone tell me what was the name of the first electronic computer built in 1946?
Ooh, Charles Babbage thing. I forgot the name and I studied an ID. Damn it.
Tim.
Is it the Centrac? The CENTRAC?
I almost want to give you a point, Tim, because it's close, but it's completely different. But I am going to give you a point. The answer is the ENIC, which is the Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. So close enough. I'm going to give you a point because who knew? Right, right. So
who was the programmer?
I don't know. Which comic book publisher is known for characters such as Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman? Okay, Dave.
DC Comics.
Correct answer. Right. Okay, let's have a look here. What is the name of the programming language that was created by Guido van Rossum in 1991?
Buzz.
Tim.
C++.
No, incorrect answer.
Buzz,
Cap
Python?
is the correct answer.
Damn, that's what I was going to think it was.
Well, he is in the land of snakes and cobras and right.
What was it?
Python.
Python.
Yeah. Which video game company? Oh my god, this is so easy. Which video game company created?
Nintendo.
Correct answer, Nick. Okay.
I call hacks.
Yeah. What is the name of the device that allows Doctor Who to travel through time?
Buzz.
Nick got in there first.
TARDIS
Is the correct answer. Let's have a look here. Okay, this is such a weird sciencey one. What is the name of the phenomenon that occurs when light from a moving source appears to change its frequency due to relative motion of the
Buzz.
observer and source? Gerald?
Oscillation.
Hang on, I need to look this up. It's not the answer I'm looking for.
Wait, can you repeat the question again?
Oh no, I can't be bothered. It's the Doppler effect.
Oh,
You gotta scroll up for this shit.
Doppler effect?
Okay, I don't know. Maybe this is wrong.
We might be geeks, but we don't know science.
Yeah, it's the wrong type of geek. Right. What animated
We're not
nerds? Yeah, exactly. We're geeks. Right. What animated movie features a bully child called Sid?
Buzz. Toy
Oh,
Story.
Gerald.
What?
Gerald
Toy Story.
is the correct answer.
Damn it!
Okay.
You beat me there, Joe.
I'm living up to my gamer tag at the moment.
Which fantasy author created the fictional world of Narnia?
Buzz.
Buzz.
Nick
C.S. Lewis.
is the correct answer. Nick is
Buzz.
leading the way here. A few questions left though.
Put him on mute.
Okay. One question. Give me.
Can you hear me now? I mean, because Gerald is wearing headphones. I'm right in your ear.
Can you explain what happens when a black hole explodes?
Supernova.
Right. Okay. So I've asked this here. So give me 25 more questions of medium difficulty about movies and the answers. So I don't want to hear about like Jeff Bezos inventing nonsense. Right. Okay, what is? God, these.
That's his energy drink.
Which movie features the character named Jack Dawson?
Oh, Buzz.
Dave.
Titanic.
Is the correct answer.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
I've never seen it as well.
Apparently, it got released in the week I was.
Gotta love the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tim.
Okay.
I know what I'm talking about. I love that thing.
Question. The character Andy Dufresne comes from what film?
Buzz.
Nick.
Buzz.
Nick.
Damn it.
Shawshank.
Nick. Yes, correct answer. Okay. Which fictional character in their film was supposedly the person that invented the smiley T-shirt?
Buzz.
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 Gerald.
Forrest Gump.
Correct answer. Okay, let's see what else we got. What is the name of the popular drink from the Harry Potter fictional universe? Nick. Butterbeer is the correct answer. Nick is taking the lead.
I was gonna go with Brondo, but I don't think that was the right.
That's what I was thinking too.
We're not allowed butterbeer until they go to Hogsmeade.
Do you know what? I hate these questions. I asked it for questions, and it's like, what character features a character? What film features a character called Luke Skywalker? This is meant to be medium. No, it's not the question. It's meant to be medium difficulty.
That's
Right.
medium.
I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have gone with the science question, David. Just.
Oh, okay. Let's go back to the science question.
No.
Right. Okay.
We did it.
What is the name of the process that converts human readable code into machine readable code?
Buzz.
Dave?
Hello Kitty toilet.
No.
I'll allow it.
Cat?
Algorithm.
Callback.
No,
Binary.
no, close enough. I'm going to give you a bonus point, Cap, because there are lots of words and I can't actually find the answer. Okay.
This is fixed. I feel
What
like
was the? Okay, what was? Screw this. I'm just going to make up some questions. Right. What was the name of the first Nintendo home console with interchangeable cartridges?
Buzz VCS.
Nick. Sorry.
The VCS, the video control, the video
Incorrect answer.
computer system.
Incorrect answer.
Buzz?
Dave.
The NES.
NES is the correct answer.
That is actually incorrect. I'm going to challenge that answer. It is
Come on,
the
then.
Well,
computer.
David doesn't want you to win, so I'm
No,
going
God, no, that's it. How do you challenge that? The VCS was made by Atari.
I realize that. However, my challenge is it's not the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's the Nintendo Family Computer, which came out in 1987 in Japan, and it is the prototype for the Nintendo for the toaster box that we all know and love.
If
Well,
I
You
may,
said computer, so
whilst
it's a
that's-
PC
okay,
thing.
I need to challenge Nick here because 2 points. First of all, that was your second answer, right? But also, it's the same machine. I was just assuming that we weren't back in Japan, right?
Well,
Okay.
if I may, from an earlier point in the show, I'm calling bullshit on that because no one believes my Thalek story. So I'm calling.
Okay. I'm going to ask 2 more questions. Nick
Well
is
played,
definitely
sir.
one. Right.
Well played.
Okay, 2 more questions. What was the name of the cute like sidekick characters in Pocahontas?
Miko, Buzz,
Nick
Miko, and Flip.
is the correct answer. And the final question I'm going to ask.
Dave, is this worth 100 points? This last question.
I love it. Okay. Right, I love it. Golden Snitch question. So, that's
Don't
just like
let Nick
bullshit.
answer.
It
You've
means
done
that
it now,
renders
Andy.
everything we've done is pointless. Right, Golden Snitch question. What have I got in my pocket?
Buzz, your hand.
No, incorrect answer.
Buzz.
I don't know who buzzed next. Gerald?
Buzz.
Nothing.
Yes, it's the answer I'm looking for. Can you,
I was gonna say your
it's a two-part. It's a two-part.
Wait, the script for the next Flash sequel?
Right, okay. Is the correct answer. But okay, the real question there is, what am I really asking with that question?
Buzz.
Okay, Dave.
String or nothing.
Well, yeah, you kind of. What am I getting at?
Buzz?
Anyone? Cap.
Buzz?
The Hobbit movies?
The Hobbit is the reference I'm looking for. But to be absolutely fair, Nick, once again, you're this week's Geek of the Week.
No, ChatGPT has failed us.
What was the final score?
Well,
Too much.
technically, Cap and Dave got the 100 points for saying The Hobbit. But other than that, you had 7 points. Dave and Gerald had 4, and other people had other amounts. Now,
And the rest.
let's find out where we can find everyone on social media. And there's a bunch of us, so let's do it fairly quick. But if you do have a recommendation for people, recommend something geeky for people this week. Starting with Tim.
Hey, you can find me on Instagram at Timothy Killay and Potato Based Economy. My recommendation is the book series, starting with The Blade itself, written by author Joe Abercrombie.
Oh wow! Hang on, just 1 second, David. Wait, you were being trolled. Oh, hang on. Oh, okay.
Never mind. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna look that up. Oh, don't worry. Things. Everyone always wants to sell me to make my show better. Like, don't worry about it. It always happens. As long as it's not anything too worrying. It happens like all the time. Right. But we live not far from Nintendo US. Oh, that's exciting.
Woohoo!
Right now, Dave MC, where can the people find you?
You can find me here, back on Extremed and on Geek Battle. You can also check out my YouTube channel, also named Dave MC, and check out my Star Wars videos and my latest Let's Play videos on the game Oakwood, where watch me scream myself to death for 20 minutes or so. My recommendation, go watch the Godzilla anime trilogy.
Okay, Andy.
You could go to my YouTube channel, Andy Abramson 9843. And you could always go to Facebook, Improv at its best improv shows and classes around the world, and you could always see me here. Card?
We can't hear you, David.
Oh, you can.
Oh, me?
Gerald.
Instagram, Gerald Geek. And then I did want to mention something that somebody had shared with me. Donna, was Heritage Auctions has an auction of the Greg Jen collection, Jein, and it's like all kinds of crazy sci-fi type stuff and whatnot. He's got outfits from various and sundry Star Trek shows and stuff. It is definitely outside of all of our price ranges, but it's interesting to see.
Okay, Kat.
You can find me on Short Views, where I sing, I dance, I throw myself in a bucket, and I work with puppets. And recently there's a short about Scooby-Doo. It's Fred versus vegetables. Go see it. It's really funny. I think so. And there'll be other shorts about Wolverine's One True Love uploaded next week. And also you can find me here on numerous shows.
Okay, Nick.
I can be found on Twitter at NSTEV. I also can be found here on the Geek Battle. And whenever I decide to show up at Improv at its best occasionally, I'm there.
I thought you were retiring, Nick. I thought this was your last show now that you won again.
I remember tuning in.
All right, guys. Bye. Bye.
Okay, so for me, my name is David Psadsky. You find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Psadsky. Do check out all of the Geek Battle YouTube and Twitter and all of these other kinds of stuff as well. I've got loads of interesting stuff coming up in the near future, but I won't announce it now because just about out of time. So until next time, from me, stay safe, always stay extremed, live long and prosper. Ciao for now, and geek out. Bye.
Goodbye,
We're off the air.
everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Wow, basically we